I'm Wendy Cohen, and I'm one of the partners at Berkeley Side. And I have to admit that I did not design a membership panel until late last night. So, our definition of membership is readers who give us money. That's really it, monthly or on a one-time basis. We started doing that in 2011. We have about 1,000 members who pays anything from $5 a month to $25 a month. We do a support button on the homepage. If you're on Berkeley site, you become a member, you can see that. And we do a minimum of 4 email blasts a year asking for money. We don't have a dedicated person. We met with someone, I don't know if you all remember the basis, and it was a phenomenal resource. We're actually doing a local page for the New York Times in the San Francisco Bay Area. They now emerged and become part of the Center for Independent Reporting. But we met with their membership person who did give us a full criteria of how to build membership. And one of my partners, Tracy Taylor, was offered to send it to anyone who wanted to email her that information. Because unfortunately we don't have the women to run it. We don't have a person to be fully dedicated, which we would like. We've instituted some of the things that we're advised to do, tabling at events, making sure we're there and visible. But it is a whole process, and as it was stated by Michelle, it can be an expensive process to step up. Our most successful campaigns have been those that we've sent out in emails after we've covered certain issues and reported. So we did the piece, I don't know if any of you are aware, there was a large incident in Berkeley, a very tragic incident, students at a collapsing issue. And our coverage on that, we got so much positive response for its sensitivity and its coverage that we did send out something after that saying, this is what we did, this is what we broke, and this is who's there. And we need your help. We're free. And if you feel that this adds to your life and brings you value, please contribute. We had some protests, Black Lives Matter, Every Life Matters, and we did a lot of coverage, mainly on Twitter on that, and got a huge amount of response. Thank you. So we could tell people which streets were closed, where to go, what to avoid, what was happening, update, continually. And our reporter, our amazing reporter Emily, was on the ground for 14 hours without a bathroom break, doing coverage. And people knew that, and we had 250 new members from that one meeting alone. So that's really our secret sauce. That's really what we've done. We've tried some other things. We do open offices. We try to do every 6 months because a lot of us aren't visible and we don't really have a space where we all work together. We invite the public, we feed themselves some chips. We get some wine donated, and from that, a lot happens. We sponsor a lot of community events, and we will have a booth or a table there, and have examples of the work we do, and we'll have people come up and say, oh yeah, oh my mother sent me that, oh I saw those people doing it, and have us money, and have us checks. So it's really about community visibility as much as anything else. That's really our story.
I think I'm going to make a third here, prior to what can be now. And so, there was some technology, you can put this up on the screen too.
Can I just ask Wendy a question? How many subscribers do you members?
1,000.
1,000. And you've been building this for how long?
Since 2011.
Okay.
Do you have subscribers as well as
Can you
members?
speak up as much as possible?
Yeah. Do you have subscribers and then you also have members?
Yes.
Or both?
So we have subscribers to our daily briefing, and that's about 7,000 people right now who get our headlines every day. So it's totally separate.
Do you charge for subscriptions or the minimum for membership? And is there any other than giving you the review that you get
Remember, you get invited to our fabulous party. But again, we feel like we've fallen down on that we want to give more value to. We offer we have a big event in October. We offer our members sort of early opportunity. We try to offer, if you are sometimes theater tickets or enter this drawing, that kind of thing. But we really don't give as much as we think we should for our members, and we don't charge for member subscriptions.
Is there a minimum for how much they need to be members? How much do they
I think Pride requires that they make say $5 a month. I don't think we actually have ever said we have to do
When you have to make these, like, reports, right, you then, in a period of time, send out an email asking for those.
Right, so we try to keep it, I think after the protest we did, and listed other things we've done, stories we've broken, different things, and, but we try to keep it so it's still in people's mind. And we also have, probably, I'm guessing we're technically within the 2 weeks.
Because that's where you're
So we send it out, we have it on that list, I think we may send it to our subscriber list as well, and any names we've accumulated. And that's a lot on the tabling, on the booths that we try to acquire names as much as possible.
Did you say, I didn't hear what you said, did you say you don't have offices?
We actually currently have some offices that we got this summer that we used because we had some interns. But up until then, we all work, I work remotely, and we all work in our places.
How many uniques do you guys do a month? And then what percentage of your annual budget is memberships?
So,
We're recording this and recording
Sure.
that. Like what we found last time was that interfered with recording your question.
Sure. So I just asked how many uniques you guys have a month, and then what percent of your annual revenues come from subscribers and members?
so right now, my base on uniques is 180,000 a month, but we really benefit from Murder and Mayhem. So we've been up as high as 390,000 a month. And advertising is about 60%, and membership right now is only about 15%.
And what's the rest? Like foundation money?
Organization,
Well, but you're 60% plus 15% of this is the same.
we have an event, a big event, which is, what's that? That's called Uncharted, and it's a 2-day ideas festival, and we're back tomorrow.
So, also because it's another nonprofit?
I'm Lauren Farman with the Wisconsin Center for Investing in Journalism. We actually do not have a membership program, but we're working on the donor development program. So I'll be able to talk a little bit about that. But first of all, I want to thank you for using the So can I see your show on the board? The nonprofits. And how many people have a membership program?
I'm starting with this. I lead Downcast SA in San Antonio, which is a nonprofit. We have several forms of government, one of which is a small and hopefully will be growing membership program. We started a membership program 2 years ago and modeled it somewhat after what we were seeing in Texas Community doing, somewhat after what we were seeing in San Diego doing, and Windpost, and took all of those and kind of morphed it together into a level that included before public radio and club memberships, and student memberships, and then all the way up to benefactor memberships. What we didn't have figured out as well at the time, when we were just thinking about public radio and public television, we were thinking of scarves and stuff like that, and tote bags, and we weren't thinking about the other kinds of things that people like, which is in-person connections and access and stuff, and so we weren't connecting that as well as we could. We also weren't looking at what advantages we were offering to people who we were asking to be members. So what this year we added a membership for nonprofit organizations. It would be up there, but I'm going to have to read off of it. But one of the things that we wanted to think about was for nonprofit organizations, many of them in our community have crappy websites that they can't update easily and they can't put stories on. So then when they try to do something on Facebook, which they can use, they don't have anything to link to the Facebook page because they don't have a story because they have a crappy website. So what we can offer them is the ability to sign up for a free account and use that account to put up stories about their events or their news releases so that they can link to those up with their Facebook, and it gives them some real value. And also offering them some social media coaching because most nonprofits have zero extra hours to put into social media, and we spend a lot of time on social media. I think we're going to do students that final exam on social media in 2008. So we have some expertise that we can offer them, and also we give them the ability to sponsor our webcast or a newsletter to use their membership as a one-time or two-time sponsorship in the newsletter or webcast, so that they see some value from that if they're moving up their affiliated with ours, and ultimately a discount on the services that we do of webcast events. If they want a webcast and they want them to do that with us. So we're trying to think of what the value is to them as opposed to just what the value is to us, which is significant. Anyway, that's in its infancy. So we've got membership so far. That's right. Yeah, I mean, my biggest learning from the others was that we didn't do the follow through, and I think it's a question also of resources for all of us to say how much when we remember, oh yeah, that's right, we have to go back and help these people who are helping us, and also make sure that we don't forget what it is that we're offering them value, which includes access.
And the question of resources is the reason that we have not set up a membership program so far. So we're based in Madison, we cover the entire state of Wisconsin, and we do in-depth, long-form investigative reports, and then we give them away for free to media around the state. And those are picked up widely, so we end up getting a large audience through our news organizations, but we don't consider ourselves a destination site. We don't try to be a destination site because we're just not publishing frequently enough. We're publishing a major report maybe 2 times a month. So we're not expecting for people to add us to their list of websites to do something like the New York Times and but like I said, we have started to grow our number of individual donors. It wasn't Andy. So my boss, the executive director of the center, is right over there. And a few years ago, the Wisconsin legislature tried keeping us on campus. And as a result, we saw a huge surge in individual donations.
About a 30% increase.
Yeah, we thought that would drop off the year after. But amazingly, it's actually continued to climb from there. And it's been really fun to see. So what we try to do is 3 to 4 touches each year. with each of our donors. And that can be that's through an email newsletter. It's through our year-end contribution ask. We send out a letter to all of our previous donors as well as the newest people. And then we also host events throughout the year. We have an event once a year called the Wisconsin Watchdog Awards, where we celebrate open government and investigative reporting in Wisconsin. We invite many of our donors and other members of the media in Wisconsin to a dinner. And then we also host events called Fireside Chats, where one of our supporters will host us in their home. And they invite a number of their friends, and they would pay for the food and drink, and then we come in and talk about the work that we do. And that's been a really good way to know our business as well. And really organically, we haven't had to do very much work on this, but we're going to just and brought aboard new consultants and start to cultivate this. But we've had several people who have decided to sign up for recurring donations, and we have about 10 of them who are getting between $5 and $50 a month. So that's nice to see.
I think that's another important thing is that recurring donations are hugely important because for every time, I mean, I forget what the sort of churn and watch numbers are from going out on membership drives and how many renewals and stuff, but if you get people to say, I just want to just sign up to give me $10 a month and have it ticked off, that's very consistent from the president. I really have on to the effort. Somebody got a question?
So, since it's a nonprofit side, and you send out the stories to all various news organizations in the state, do you always, are they required to keep attribution, and do all the stories when they're published on your sites link back to your site?
They don't all link back to us. We require that they give us credit for the byline of the
And so where, I mean, I know you're in-depth in the investigative thing, where are you getting your story ideas? Are there too many to do?
There are ways to do this. Yeah. So we have typically about 3 student interns working with us at all times from the School of Journalism and Nursing. And they are phenomenal. And they come in with their own story ideas. We get story ideas from other news organizations. We're very collaborative. And those news organizations around the state know that they can call us and say, we really want to do this story, but we don't have the resources. Can you help us out? And we take on accountability. And sometimes we have to do the same. We get a great story to pass it off to someone else because we just don't have the resources to do all the stories. We get a lot of reader contacts. And how many emails would you send here?
20, 30, like story ideas.
Good story.
A lot of letters from prison too. And some of them are actually important stories.
How many stories?
They're all important. How did you get started? So we started in 2009. Andy had worked as an investigative reporter for more than 20 years. And it was kind of a selfish endeavor at first. If you want to tell the story, you can go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's good.
But he was thinking about what he wanted to do. There were a couple of health scares in his family, and realized how precious and short life is, and he loved investigative reporting and he wanted education. So he started the center at that point. And we've grown from just a staff of 1. And now we have 4 full-time staff members and a number of reporting interns. So that's how the center got started. Our mission is to increase the quality and quantity of investigative reporting in Wisconsin, and also to train current and future generations of investigators.
I want a question for Charlotte Ann. I'm very interested in this idea about what you do for nonprofits and how you encourage them to sponsor your newsletter and send it out to all of their constituents. But I wonder, could you explain that a little bit more? I mean, I'm a for-profit site, but we have really dedicated ourselves to serving, we're a very big nonprofit community in the area where I am, probably more nonprofits than for-profit businesses. And so, we have put out a page where we list everybody's gala for free because we don't want, and it's a big problem that people end up using their galas on the same night, and the community is trying, and there's never been a central calendar, so we've been trying to do that. So, we would really like the nonprofit community to be reading that and supporting it. So could you tell me a little bit more about how you reach out to these nonprofits and what exactly you do for them?
So part of I have to go back to our mission, which is to essentially civic engagement, is to promote and facilitate and inclusive civic conversation. So civic engagement includes a whole lot of things besides voting, and one of those is actually nonprofits and volunteering. So that kind of comes under our core mission as a nonprofit, so that's kind of helpful. And because we're a nonprofit, we tend to hang out with the nonprofit community. And San Antonio has a nonprofit council. We were born of a grant from the Knight Foundation and the San Antonio Area Foundation, which helps a lot of nonprofits and stuff. So we're connected with that community a lot more. But I have to say that the newspaper that I worked for in San Antonio last also put together a calendar that was hugely loved by all of the nonprofits. They know exactly their reason, because everybody's trying to figure out what you do to gala. They certainly don't want to do their galas competing with each other, and so that was the newspaper's calendar was the only place in the world that they could say, oh, this is where we want to compete. And then the newspaper management changed it when they decided that helping nonprofits was no longer in their best interest. So that window opened up to other folks who said, oh yeah, like you. That's who said, hey, helping these guys is actually in the best interest of everybody, right? So then they have a certain loyalty to us, in for taking their concerns seriously, which is, we're all in the business of fundraising, and we don't want to conflict with each other, and we also want to try to leverage each other, to help and collaborate.
And it's also, I think it's a very, it can really go exponentially because each one of those nonprofits has a constituency of its own.
Exactly.
So that used to be good for them, and they let everybody know they would do it.
So yeah, we find even during like the big day, the local day of giving to nonprofits, that a lot of the nonprofits are giving to us, and it's kind of going back and forth from the staff of the nonprofit staff to say, this is really this community is really important to us. And when you think about it from as a former business editor, I can tell you that the economic impact of nonprofits is actually bigger than the economic impact of a lot of nonprofits. So particularly if you added up the volunteer hours at a legitimate nonprofit. So it has a whole lot to do with the economic viability of the city and, again, the health of democracy and the health of people in the city, because the better connected people are in any community, the longer actually provable, the longer longevity and greater health. So there's all of those kinds of things that we're reinforcing what they're talking about. You said that you were going to try to improve a lot of your touchbacks. What kinds of things have you guys laid out to try to meet that?
We don't feel like we give enough to our members to really give them a distinction and give them we want to do more salons and conversations. It's quite that idea of fireside chat for involved more. We've talked about doing behind the scenes tours of businesses. And for instance, there's a bakery that was asked us to do this, and they've got capacity for maybe 25 people. We want to offer this first come, first serve, kind of see what goes on behind the scenes. We just haven't physically been able to do it all. It's to do is necessary.
And some nonprofits have a person who is a volunteer, who is a coordinator of the volunteers who make those kind of things happen, because the staff of the nonprofit is as paperwork is staff so and you can't make those kinds of things happen.
There's a movie called East Bay Sushi, East Side Sushi, which is out of a small film, and it was filmed in Oakland, and Nosh, our food site covers Oakland. And the idea is putting in doing something special movie night and getting, it's a beautiful film out there. And this is but again, it's who has the time to do the logistics, to get it all together, to make it all happen. And
that's what we love about the concept. All of those logistics are taking serious, but they handle all of the RSVPs, like I said, because even with the few events that we plan, I spend most of my spring just planning events. I want to talk about the tech side of things. What are you using for CRMs? What do you use for events? What kind of tools are you utilizing? Personally, we use MailChimp, we use Eventbrite. Those are very good simple, very great. And then we use Neon CRM, which is a good option. Neon CRM. We use Neon. Caption.
and MailChimp.
And can you tell us about Capsule? Is it integrated with those services?
I don't know how to compare it. I don't really know how to compare it. I did some research for different types. I'm just trying to figure all on the charts. And it allows me to record conversations, to know when I've contacted people about reminders. Task on website and use it and use it zero for everyone.
Or just Capsule is integrated with Excel?
No, so it's just an internal and use
What do you guys using Salesforce to have these things, which sometimes is so far behind the scenes that they exist and they're not going to be public. And we use Eventbrite, we use Facebook. We operate on some of the different platforms that we have huge YouTube presence, we have a huge Twitter presence, a huge Twitter presence, Facebook. So getting information really operate across all of them, is fun. And there are some, we're on Google, which has capability to generate as soon as you get out of the Google service. But that's really cool. So, I mean, we just migrated to
We took a look at Salesforce, but there's just too much. Which is why I'm really Neon CRM is recommended to us by my friend.
Neon Light.
Yes. And the price was right, and it offers it. It does integrate with QuickBooks, it integrates with Eventbrite, as well.
I was going to ask, Charlotte, what does your site look like? The page on your site where you've got the calendar?
Right now, it simply looks like events. It's an event listing.
Okay.
So it's not a calendar listing like a traditional calendar look to it.
And do the nonprofits go on and enter their own events?
They enter their own events. It's trivial enough that I haven't had any problems with anybody entering their own events. I mean, we edit them for the public, so we save them for themselves. They enter their own events, and they can upload their own flyers, and they can even indicate if it's a recurring event. They can put that into the
Did you say you gave them a page on your site?
yes, the nonprofit members will get
So how does that work? Does that return it?
yes, so it says membership at the top, and then it has the different kind of membership, and joins the nonprofit, and I heard, when I heard this speak about that, that was really to cross management, and maybe in some places like this. We're using the calendar built into Google.
So for our daily briefing, we're at 46.6% open rate.
I'm sorry, I don't know all of that. Subscribers, we have no subscribers, we need to email something out.
So we have 2 emails to send out. The daily briefing goes out every day.
That's just 7,000.
And that's to 7,000 plus at this point, and it has 46 points.
That's up to a little bit extra. But when you get, you
Membership.
the membership run 4 times a year. Of those 7,000 people, how many come back and say yes?
Let me see if she has any numbers. As I said, everyone's doing this and not the person who does it. So you are. Well, she said she had 1,000 members. So I have 1,000 members, and then with a lot of different email posts. So there's 1,000 members of people who do pay us already. There are 7,000 people that are daily briefings. As for a sponsored email list, I've got about 8,500. So it really varies. And I'm looking at this, seeing 1,000 emails. It's 20% of all revenue I want. We're putting everything into our donations platform called Kindful, which integrates with PayPal and Stripe payment methods. And we use MailChimp for our email campaigns. Lessons we've learned. People want to give, when we ask them, they give. People don't necessarily know you need support. That's a really good one that you have to remind them. And don't ask for a specific amount. We allow them to give it to us, and don't ask every month. So we set up the request. I don't see, she doesn't have a response rate on here. I'm sorry.
That was one of the things that I remember from a recent conversation that I was involved in my memberships group was that also people just don't get how much effort we put into covering the things that they love and appreciate. So, and one of the things that members do a very good job of is tell people what we put into it. Not marketing us, but just taking the time to say, this is what it took, so that people kind of get, oh yeah, that's my neighbor's support. That's, I wish I had somebody following around the neighbors.
We put together a bookmark with kind of pricing and like that. It says how much it costs for an intern and how much it costs for this kind of reporting trip.
Actually, we do one of those as well, and it goes all the way down to the gas tank covering the vehicles. It's 17 minutes. So, and how many miles you ride or for X amount and stuff like that. Because it really is important. And what's it like?
Wendy, since you guys are for profit, I mean, I'm assuming some of the readers gave some pushback when you're setting up a donation request. I mean, do you have messaging that you use to sort of on that?
I have to say, we don't really, the pushback's been very minimal. I mean, there are people who don't like us, so they created a Reddit site called Local Snide. And they, since we are all women with one male, we're sexist. I mean, it's Berkeley. If you say the sky is going to 18 people are going to tell you why it isn't. But we really, and I in looking, and I looked at the numbers of the day briefing because I load the stuff. We've got very little drop off. There's attrition that you expect where people can go, or there's some people who are parents of students at Cal who want to see what's happening where their kids are, so that they're on the site and the kids leave, they realize, okay, he's 21 now and so that so they stop, with that. But we've had pretty consistent growth and very little pushback. So one of these letters that Casey sent me today. So here, just taking on for more than 40 stories we reported in the past 2 weeks. So it's a reminder. Protesters get naked to save the trees. Some, we listed all these different things. If we have an earthquake, which does happen periodically, people turn to us right away, so you see these huge spikes. But it's a reminder, and I think that's the thing, to show evidence of point that people don't realize what's involved. They didn't know that everyone was only running 14 hours, covering the protest. They didn't know that the Irish government commended us for our coverage while they were last in the New York Times for their coverage of the Alpine disaster. And we have to remind them that's the business side. You have to be out there and say yes, we do this.
Did you say you had a separate site or another newsletter that you do for food?
So we have, food is a religion right now. And so we have a food section is called Nosh. And people go to Nosh directly, but it isn't just for food. It's so it's Bay Nosh or Pretty Nosh. And then we launched a curated newsletter, Nosh Weekly. It goes out every Thursday morning at 6 a.m. And it picks up some of the stories and gives a little detail of them more. And the sold my first sponsor post on it. So.
I was going to ask you if you had
Yes, I'm advertising on everything.
Just, you guys have had wonderful tips, but I also wanted to do a shout out here to an online news association session last week. The full video this What's the San Diego talking with infinite detail about how they did it. I'd love to hear if you can talk about it. The online business. If you search for revenue reviews on
One of the quick things to remember about Detective Tribune is that when Detective Tribune was born, they made the incredibly brilliant move of buying the Los Ramsey's Detective newsletter, which had thousands of subscribers who were paying hundreds of dollars a year to subscribe to his incredibly good political analysis of options. Absolutely must be like not just every lobbyist we have, but everybody who felt strongly about it. So Detective Tribune was born with that incredible revenue stream of memberships that lost lives, which is really important to describe the strategy. Lost it.
Two questions. Cheryl, I think in San Antonio you don't have memberships, is that right?
No, we do. We just it's microscopic and it needs to be much bigger. We had a regular membership and then we just started a couple of weeks ago the nonprofit membership. And so.
But I think you said maybe you had one person something.
Right, from the nonprofit membership, and then the other one we have about 40.
Okay. And the other question was for all three of you about what percentage of your revenue would you say comes from individual contributions?
20% for us.
And then is that the other 80 advertising?
60 on advertising and maybe 20 on things that are purchased from us, our news and our
Ours is less than 10%, and just for quick comparison, I was able to pull up Texas Public Radio, which we did competitive analysis of what Texas Public Radio, which is the public radio station in Pennsylvania, and the public television station did, and Texas Public Radio is 46%. So that's how much an average it was.
Ours is also less than 10%.
Yeah, I know that.
Feels on my heart.
I had mentioned that document that we got, that we paid for and haven't really used for the funding nonprofit, which is Bay Simpson. And Tracy has offered that if someone would like that document, your email is Tracy K P-R-A-C-E-Y K T-R-A-C-E-Y K Taylor T-A-Y-L-O-R @gmail. It's also, if you miss that, on Berkeley Central on the About tab, we're all listed with our email. It should be happy to send anyone a document that we paid for and used.
And what was the document about?
So this was Bay Citizen, which is now part of CR, had a fully dedicated membership person. And we hired her to do a consulting for us with the intent of really working on our membership. And we just never have had the chance to do all of the things she recommended. But she was very successful at what she did, so it's a really good guide.
I wonder if I could, this is not exactly membership, but I am concerned about subscribers, which are related. I wonder if I could ask you a question about soliciting subscribers. We have a subscribe button on our site, but at the same time, a lot of people, we also, every time we post a new article, we post a link on Facebook and Twitter, so there are a lot of people that are coming to us from Facebook and Twitter, and we don't realize that they could subscribe, which means they get a newsletter every day, or that they should subscribe because it helps us. And so we are thinking of trying to do, some way of reminding people, and we were talking about a pop-up, which, we're very ambivalent about.
Are you posting about it on Facebook and Twitter?
We haven't decided what to do, and we haven't done anything about it yet, but we're discussing it for the web dev.
We send out an email newsletter about 2 times a month. And several times before we'll send it out and say, getting ready to send out our newsletter update. If you're not on the list, here's a link to sign up now.
Aha.
So,
Yeah.
subscription reminders
So
on social media, on Facebook.
Do you know anything
about
Yeah.
there's I know I'm sure people have heard of it, that there's this wonderful service which is free, and it's called Mail Munch. Mail Munch. I think it's mailmunch.co.com, which is basically it's a pop-up, and it does pop up at whatever frequency you set. That collects email subscriptions. I'd say, from my personal standpoint, it's probably close to double the number of email subscribers I have. And let's take it off of it, and you have to judge how often you want to renew your readers.
Yeah, right.
But one thing I've done, and one of the pitches, and you can change the pitch on it, and one of the pitches I've done is to directly address Facebook, reminding readers that if they're following you on Facebook because of the way Facebook operates, they're probably not getting all your stories. They're getting a few of the stories, that are getting a feed, but there are other ones, and what we can say is, hey, you're probably missing something if you're following us on Facebook. Make sure you get our email every day, so you can get all the stories that you like.
That's very
But I have found that it's really helpful in that regard.
We also put a little note at the end of stories, not every story, but particular stories that are a big part of us, for us, is our commentary. People comment, and if we see that there's a lot of interest, we will put a note at the bottom. For more stories like this, we'll also show links to stories that are related to it, and put something about membership or about subscribing to Twitter. We promote a lot. We promote a lot on Twitter, a lot on Facebook.
And I'm going to grab
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.